Okay. My name is Sherrie Stewart. I'm from Breathitt High School. I'm the agriculture teacher at Breathitt. And it's always inspiring to come down here to KVEC when I see a lot of faces that I've seen before. And I've just sat with a lady that's coming from California to learn things that we're doing in Kentucky. I think that's pretty cool to be able to visit and say they want to take some of our ideas back with them. But I've always been inspired, and I think Mr. Mobley agree with me back there that I've never taught the same day twice if you're an agriculture teacher. And if you're in art and band like Mr. Schaus and Mr. Hale, you know, we're very active and project-based. And so we're always looking at, and the thing with project-based, you need a little money. And so with KVEC and the ARI grants, this is where our grant money has helped us tremendously. So the project that I always went through Lexington and Louisville, you guys have been through, you've seen those, and they had those beautiful horses. And I can't help but always in all of those horses, I will stop, always, and look at those horses and go, that's, you know, why don't we have anything like that in our county? And then I was helping Mr. Bennett in Lee County. He was wanting an ARI grant because he's seen the benefits of that, and so I said, well, I pretty much got inspired again this year, and so we applied for it. And the thing with this one, it was actually 3 parts of the grant, so I basically needed $3,000 to make it happen. So I wrote up a grant for the Gallapalooza 1. That's what this one is, and that's what we call it. And the Gallapaloozas, as you know, in Lexington and Louisville, an artist paints them, then they go on sale and auction and those things too. But they're just beautiful. They add to the campus. So the Gallapalooza 1 covers the landscaping. So this group will be doing the landscaping. They'll design the place. We have an area that's located, and we kind of kicked it around, but an area that's representative of agriculture. We have a greenhouse, we have a high tunnel, we have a country ham house, we have raised beds. So we wanted to highlight that, and we wanted to keep something that the kids could be proud of and something we can maintain as well. So the idea is that we will develop a landscaping plan, including our knockout rows or something more sustainable and aggressive growing there in that area so we can maintain it. And kids, the students, will be doing the selection, they'll do the design, they'll do the measurements, and they will place in the materials that we want, whether it be brick or rock. We'll kind of pair with them to see. So the Gallapalooza 2 went with then the horse. We have to buy the horse. So the horse is $1,500. So how does this grant go? It goes up to $1,000. So the horse is on the second Gallapalooza, which is a life-size 1,100-pound, or it's a 100-pound horse, but it's fiberglass, life-size. So we'll have that coming in. The third part of the Gallapalooza was the rest of the horse. I don't know which end, but the rest of the horse, and then the paint supplies and the materials that Mr. Hale needs to complete his. So his art department will come up, and he's presenting this afternoon, so you guys catch that at 2 o'clock. On the design, I just said I wanted it agricultural, heritage themed, because I think that we need that. So our location, hopefully, and then with this big project, what we hope to do is get all of our core areas. I saw Miss Bolin in here a minute ago. Get all of our core areas, English, Mr. Harris, get all of our core areas involved in this. So English would be looking maybe at essays or the horse itself to do a poetry or something with that. We'll look at the lessons to develop for them, though. We don't want to make more work on them. We want to give them a freebie and say, here is a class that you could tie core content into. Would you like to do it? And they're going to say, oh, that's great. I don't have to develop something new here. It's already written out. History would be the same way. Looking at the horse's history and from war to you know, everything that our horses have been used for, the history people, and we will develop those lessons. Our students will. And then our ag students. And then our sciences, of course, with the anatomy and those things too. Math especially, looking at measurement and looking at statistics and racing and those things. So our idea is to include 80 to 90% of our student base at Breathitt High School in this project, so they will know a little bit more about horses and tie them in with one common unit theme. And the biggest thing I have with that, they always ask me, how do you keep people, the greenhouse right now at Breathitt High School, if you're interested, is open. We're not selling anything, but the doors are always unlocked. And they say, how do you keep it from being destroyed? It's student investment. So if the students, you know, if they work in it, I have a high tunnel full of greens right now. They don't bother that stuff. We had chickens we just processed. Nobody bothers our country hams and those things we have. You think, well, there's no cameras down there, and there's not. But I found student investment is a big thing. So if we let students paint it and we let students design it, they're proud of it. And their parents are driving by there, and then they're more apt to invest in that as well and support it. And the cool thing about this, when I'm gone and retired based on this retirement system thing, so when I'm gone and it fades in 3 or 4 years, the horse is still there. Another group can come up and say, hey, I think we need to do another idea with it and continue that. So that's where the sustainability part comes in, and maybe other grants or, those things, but help paint it, but to be proud of it and continue it there, so be it. But that's kind of the general idea. So same thing this afternoon, but it's Gallapalooza 1, 2, and 3, and that's how I had to put it up to pay for it. So